So guys, I just watched one of the most unique superhero movies I've watched in a long time, and that was Shazam. So as I said, Shazam is an incredibly unique movie when it comes to the superhero genre. Everything they've done it in a completely different way than we've seen in past films. The story is different, the characters are different, the way the hero gets his powers are different, the way the villain comes to be is different. Everything about this film feels so incredibly unique and new. So guys, this movie was really fun. I mean, it's about a kid with superheroes. Of course it is going to be fun, but it was also incredibly dark at times. Like, the first act was so surprisingly dark, and it tackled themes and elements I honestly wasn't expecting them to tackle, and I'll get onto that later. But I think that's also the biggest problem with the film, is it really struggles to balance its tone, because it jumps from these super dark moments that, you know, tackle real life themes that lots of people struggle with. It tackles these hard, depressing themes, and then it jumps to this kid with superpowers busy doing the floss, you know what I mean? So the tone kind of left me a bit like this at times, but other than that, this was a truly great film. So straight off the bat, I have to say I was blown away by the performances in this movie. When Zachary Levi was, announced, I was a little bit like hesitant. I didn't know if he could pull off this Captain Marvel, this Shazam. And so I just have to say he perfectly captured what it's like to be a little boy getting superpowers and all of a sudden having this completely different body, this indestructible body. His performance was great. He really captured that like childlike essence and the pure joy of having superpowers. I just have to say the performances from the children actors was just superb. It really was. And it seems like every movie and series now that involves a child, they really do just have great children performers. I remember, even a few years ago, watching any film with a child actor, you were going to get some just cringy moments. But throughout this whole film, they felt like real children having real problems and living real lives. I've just got to say, Shazam, you did great when you casted these children characters. So as I said at the beginning of my review, the film really did tackle some heavy themes. Some of the themes they tackled were family. It's the family that you choose, not the family that you're given, that is your real family. And you have to choose who you love and who you're going to trust and stuff like that. And they delivered that theme so well. There's this one scene I won't tell you. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it broke my heart when I watched it the first time. And that was a pleasant surprise to me, because going into the film, I thought it'd be such a light-hearted and fun film. I mean, if you watch the trailers, it's all just Shazam playing around and having fun. But there was so many scenes that really hit you, in your heart. It was emotional. And I'm really happy the way they tackled those themes. You really understood where Billy Batson was coming from, being a foster kid and running away from home and stuff like that. You can understand why he was doing that, why he was on this mission to accomplish what he set out to do. And I think there's a great parallel between Shazam, the hero of this film, Billy Batson, and the villain, and this idea of self-worth. How do you measure your own worth? Where do you get your worth from? And stuff like that. I really feel like this film really tackled some heavy themes in a very adult and mature way, and I just want to applaud them for that. One thing I was not expecting from this film was its great use of licensed soundtracks and songs. There were so many occasions where I was just sitting there and then Queen would come on, and then 21 Pilots would come on, and then Survivor would come on, and they really added to the mood. And not to take away from the original soundtrack and score that they did, but it was just so pleasant to actually hear so many soundtracks and songs that I knew already, and I was able to bring in the emotions I have with those songs into the movie itself. It somehow made the movie feel a lot more personal to me. So one thing that I really enjoyed about this film, and if you're not a comic book fan, you wouldn't really care about it, but it was, in my opinion, a very honest adaptation. They followed what happens in the comics quite closely. And after watching Captain Marvel, where they pretty much just threw everything in the comics out the window and they just did their own thing, it's very nice to actually watch this film and see what I had read previously in comic book pages up on the big screen. It was just awesome to see. My biggest gripe with this film, as I've already stated, was the tone. It really just didn't feel level at times. You'd go from incredibly hardcore scenes, and these villains in the film, some of the villains are honestly scary. Like, I would almost say bordering on horror. Like, there was this one scene where I was like, oh, that is a very scary monster. Whew, okay. And then straight away, you're back to, as I said, the superhero flossing and stuff like that. So the tone really went a bit like this. That's my only gripe with the film. But I'm so excited to see where the DC universe is going next, because there were actually quite a few tie-ins. I mean, if you see the trailer, you'll see there's that scene where they throw in Batman, like, go get him, Batman. And there's also other characters from the existing universe that come into this film, and they do like small crossovers and stuff like that. So you do definitely know that this is connected to the rest of the DC universe. You know that this is the same universe that Batman vs Superman took place in. You know this is the same universe that Aquaman takes place in, and Wonder Woman and all of that. And so I'm really keen and really excited to see this, because I want to watch a Justice League movie with Shazam and Aquaman and Superman and Batman. I mean, it's really disappointing that there's so much trouble happening with DC at the moment, but I really just want to see Shazam and Aquaman in a movie together. That could be one of the greatest movies ever. So guys, thank you so much. That was just my review on Shazam. I would love to know what you guys thought of the film. Comment down below. You're awesome. I'll see you in the next video.